got a new hip, so I'm like gangster leaning. I'm gonna sit my. This is how old we are. New hips. So
Here.
there was.
Is your mic on?
Yes. Okay. So in high school, I played the bass pretty good, and the guy that played drums in Supaflies' name is Ryan, and he was pretty good. And there was a guy who's no longer with us named Charlie Cooper, who ended up starting a group with a guy named Josh called Telephone Tel Aviv, which actually got pretty big. But he wanted to start a band, and we all went to Shaw, and for one reason or the other, they wanted to play like ska music. Like Dang Bro Y was like huge at the time. If anybody knows who Dang Bro Y is, they were like. I'm kind of too young. I had to sneak out to go see Dang Bro Y, you know. But they were kind of like a ska thing, maybe, but like freaky New Orleans weird thing. But there was a ska band called Kelly's Heroes, who kind of wasn't that great of a ska band at the end of their career. I'm not trying to talk shit. Like they just had a lot of members come and go, you know. But they had a singer named EC who was kind of like HR. He was fucking awesome. He was like a fucking badass, right? So Charlie and Ryan wanted to be in a ska band because of this guy, right? But I didn't get to see him until after that guy quit, and they got a new guy named Sam Blackwood, who is like a really good musician. I don't know if y'all know who Sam Blackwood is, but shout out my old neighbor. I'm ticking. Yeah. Ryan Blackwood. His wife Jane, what's up? If they're listening. But he smoked vocally. Like he was the shit. So I'm like, man, we gotta play this ska stuff. So Ryan gave me some Fishbone tapes, and I actually learned how to play like ska from listening to that Fishbone EP, from listening to Ugly. You know? And that's like, oh, I figured out that was like major scale. Mm-hmm. So I'm sitting in my room playing that over and over and over and over, you know. So then we became a ska band after that, you know. So I don't even know where I was going with this, guys.
All right.
No, we're
So so Kelly's Heroes. So if there was a ska show, so say like Mustard Plugs coming through, or MU330's coming through, they're gonna play with Kelly's Heroes, because there's no scene here. There's nothing going on here. As far you had like this guy named Oi Boy, who do you remember Oi Boy? Wore suspenders. He wasn't from here. He was like from Boston, and a couple other guys that were like friends with Kelly's Heroes that would go to ska shows, right? So if there was anything ska happening, they were playing with Kelly's Heroes. So then we started to get pretty good. Any of our horn players we got from the Shaw band, they didn't give a shit. They were not punk rock like us. They were not willing to like sleep in parking lots and skip meals for cigarettes, you know. So it ended up becoming, in long story short, Supaflies, which is the four of us, me, Kirk, Ryan, and Chad, and Kelly's Heroes actually stopped wanting to play with us because we would play shows, and the bands on tour would want to hang out with us. They would want us to open up with them, and it was like kind of a punk rock thing where like it was more like punk rock and ska, you know, than just like which is no problem with that, you know. But we kind of could collect from the punk rock scene and the ska scene.
And you were a better hang.
Man, I tell you what, if there was like, no, I'm not talking shit that way, I'm not. But if there was a band, if there was a ska band in existence at that time, they stayed at my house. Like they stayed, and like you said, like how we would do, we would do it for nothing. We would be like, y'all are taking the money. That's just our way. Like Mushroom Plug is getting paid. There was only 80 people, or 80, shit, man. There was only like 30 people. They're gonna get all the money, That's kind of like, I mean, you can ask Mr. Brian Funck here. We're not doing this shit for money, like I have a new hit, and it's not from playing the bass, or the guitar or whatever,
So the Supaflies, you guys get a pretty big fan base going on in New Orleans, and then you get signed to Fueled by Ramen at a certain point too.
Right. So, the way that happened was you had the Fallberg Center, and that was like the spot. That was like the Mecca. That was fucking punk rock, right? Like it was crazy. It was crazy. It was weird. I don't really know what was going on upstairs in that place or the people that lived there. There was a dude named Fred, a guy named Fred. Do y'all remember? Kind of had an afro. I don't know. It was crazy.
It's like a flop house.
I guarantee you it was a fire hazard. It was everything. There was wood everywhere. People smoking, fucking crazy shit. But yeah, man, no, like most shows were happening there. Occasionally like Monaco Bob's or other places that aren't around. But we ended up. I can't remember if we played with Less Than Jake like at Jimmy's, and dude, there was literally like nobody there. No, like this is LTJ in like '96.
Wasn't there? I think there was like a hurricane or a hurricane warning.
That's right. There was a hurricane coming. There was literally nobody there at Jimmy's. Then when they came back into town, they played at Fallberg Center, and that for whatever reason the things lined up where I think I was like graduate. I think it was like '96. Like everybody was waiting on me to graduate. Like everybody else was older, so like I got out of school. We ended up playing with them. They had a band called Pez that couldn't tour with them anymore. It was just a regular punk rock band. Had nothing to do with them and their Pez shit or whatever they had going on. Dude, those guys, man, they sold yo-yos and all kinds of shit. I'm like, wow, man, these guys are fucking busy. Anyhow, that band dropped off. Pez couldn't play, so they're like, "Can y'all go on tour?" And I was just like, "Yeah, we can," And I'm like, "We don't have a ride. I don't have a license." Like you said, you're 18, 19. You're like, "Yeah, sure, yeah, we'll do it, and we'll figure it out." We ended up like borrowing Kirk's grandparents' Suburban, and like it was totally insane. Like that's hard for me to explain what that was like. That was awesome. I mean, it was like, imagine like playing East Coast. LTJ is like just starting to blow up, and these are like your fucking heroes or whatever, right? So it's like, wow. Yeah, that was wild.
So you're on Fueled by Ramen.
Yeah, they signed us.
Then
they basically were like.
And you released Rambarden on Fueled by Ramen in like '97. And you did and you also did the Mullets Across America tour.
Right, that is also a fact.
It was Impossibles, Hippos, Homegrown.
So when we got signed, we were the third band signed. It was the Hippos, which Ariel is now. That was like the main guy in that band.
Yeah,
he is like.
He's a pop producer.
In Vampire Weekend.
He's not in Vampire Weekend, but he produces. He plays with them sometimes.
The last time I saw Ariel, I can't remember which band played with him, but it was at, I don't know if y'all booked the show. It was at the Cypress Hall, and we got shook down by Street Crimes. And I remember telling Street Crimes, like JP's had a unit called Street Crimes, and all these guys did was work out and be cops, right? So like we were behind the Cypress. Do y'all remember Cypress Hall, right?
Yeah.
I didn't dream this, I don't think, right? So like, yeah, we're in the back, like listening to stereo, like Impossible's next band, like Rory's next band, and Ariel's showing me stereo, and the cops, boom, 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 get out. And I remember telling the cops, like, I mean, man, you can go through this whole thing. You're not gonna find these guys don't even eat cheese because, I was making, which is kind of the truth, like being vegan was not like a hip thing to be back then.